I signed up for a marathon, even though I don't run. Actually, it's more like I don't even like running at all, which already tells you this was probably a bad idea. Someone just offered it to me, and without really thinking, I said yes. No questions, no plan, I just signed up, paid, and that was it. There was still a month till marathon, and it felt reasonable. I remember even years ago when I tried running sometimes, I would go outside and spend the first few minutes just thinking about turning back. The only time I ran this year, before signing for the marathon, was when the snow started melting, and that was one run. Before that, you have to go back almost 3 years. Back then, I used to run occasionally, not because I enjoyed it, but because I moved and the gym was too far away, and I was too lazy to go there, so running felt like easier option. And even back then, the most I ever ran were around 15 kilometers, not even remotely close to a marathon. Then I bought gym equipment for home and immediately stopped running. Since then, basically only lifting weights, no cardio, no running, nothing like that. And somehow, a marathon still never felt impossible to me. Thousands of people run them every year, so in my head, I thought it probably can't be that complicated. I thought it's more about enduring it than actually preparing for it. And then I started looking into it more and realized people actually train for this. And a lot. Apparently, you need proper shoes, proper pacing, energy gels, long runs, recovery. At least that's what ChatGPT told me. And the more I looked into it, the more complicated it became, which was not part of the original plan, because the original plan was that there is no plan. I signed up because I needed something that felt like progress. At the time when nothing really felt like progress. There were no big wins, no clear direction. Everything felt a bit all over the place. And this felt like something real. Not necessarily useful, but real. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, but at least I'm doing something. Even if that something is running 42 kilometers for no real reason. At first, I thought maybe I will train every week, build up slowly, do it properly, but right after signing up, I went for a 30-kilometer run, which was probably a terrible idea. During that run, everything hurt. Like almost from the beginning. My knees, my legs. Running felt heavy almost immediately, but I still finished those full 30k, mostly because I already decided I would. And after that run, I had this thought that maybe trying to train properly 1 month before a marathon is actually worse than just running it as I am. So instead of pushing harder, I basically stopped training. A week before the marathon, I did another run. That was around 10 kilometers, and that was it. So by the time marathon day came, I wasn't really prepared, I just showed up, and honestly, the unpleasant part already started in the morning. I had to wake up at 5 a.m., which might not sound that bad unless you normally go to sleep around 3. I haven't regularly woken up that early since university, and of course, the night before the marathon, I still couldn't fall asleep early. So I ended up sleeping maybe 4 hours or so. And when the alarm went off, getting up felt significantly harder than the marathon itself. It was May, still cold outside in the morning, and because most of the city was closed for the marathon, I had to use public transport, then walk quite a lot before even reaching the starting area. Half asleep, walking through a cold, empty, almost empty city at 6 in the morning. I wasn't nervous or anything, as this wasn't really a competition in my mind. If I finish it, I finish, but if not, then not. Meanwhile, everyone around me looked like professional. Proper running gear, special glasses, energy gels everywhere. And I showed up wearing Ray-Ban Wayfarers. Before the run, I thought the whole experience would just feel long and boring, like surviving something unnecessary for 6 hours. But almost immediately, something unexpected happened. I actually started enjoying it. Not the running itself, that part still hurt, but the atmosphere. People cheering from the sides, music on the streets, people singing, people at water stations calling me by my name, trying to motivate some complete stranger. The whole city somehow felt alive. I don't even remember such a great atmosphere during regular official holiday celebrations. And after a while, it stopped feeling like exercise, it felt more like being part of something. At the beginning, I actually felt pretty good. Too good maybe. Then another problem started. My watch completely messed up the distance tracking. Right after the start, it showed that I was running way too slow. So I started speeding up because I thought I might not even finish before cut-off time. And I kept trying to catch up while slowly destroying my legs even more. Then around 15 kilometers in, I finally realized that something was wrong. The marathon sign, set 15 kilometers, but my watch still showed less than 10. So the entire time I was basically racing against fake numbers. And after that, I had no idea what pace I was actually running anymore. So I started calculating everything in my head, trying to estimate if I still make it in time. And honestly, that probably made the marathon mentally harder than it needed to be. But physically, surprisingly, it never became as terrible as I expected. It never really had some dramatic wow moment whenever my knees or legs started hurting too much. I just took painkillers, which was probably also the reason this entire thing felt much easier than it should have. So I kept going almost the entire marathon. I barely walked, and eventually, after 42 kilometers, I finally finished. 4 hours and 50 minutes. And honestly, and there wasn't some huge emotional moment. They gave me the medal, took a photo, and then I just went to eat, which somehow feels like the most accurate ending possible for this whole experience.
Well, finished a few minutes ago. 42. I thought this will be much more boring, but it actually was quite fun. A lot of people, a lot of cheering. It's fun, but I don't think that I will do this anytime soon again.
But what surprised me the most was that I actually kind of liked it. Not enough to suddenly become a runner, but enough to understand why people do things like this. Because for a few hours, everything becomes very simple. Just keep moving forward, and weirdly, that feels good. I thought this experience would feel pointless, but it actually felt strangely meaningful. Not life-changing, not some huge breakthrough, just a very good reminder that maybe I'm capable of more uncomfortable things than I think. And the reason I signed for the marathon wasn't really about running. As I said in the beginning, I just needed something that felt like movement, something that felt like progress, even if logically running 42 kilometers doesn't actually solve anything. And somehow, yesterday, I signed up for an ultra-trail marathon, which probably means that I learned absolutely nothing.